congratulations, Alex.
Thank you.
Big time stuff there. We saw all the emotions at the end of this match. What was going through your mind?
So much. I think at the end of the match, my legs just kind of buckled. They weren't working anymore, and it was an overwhelming wave of emotions, I guess. Yeah.
Great tennis, but I want to ask you too about playing on that court.
Yeah.
What did you notice? What did you take away from center court?
It was a very different experience for me from last year.
The headlines focused on Alex Eala setting yet another attendance record against Iga, but that only scratches the surface of what truly happened. Behind the sold-out crowd was an extraordinary chain of events that almost no one expected. What drew such a massive number of fans to this matchup, and what unexpected twists transformed a routine contest into a moment that will be talked about for years to come?
Since the Miami tournament, Eala has one of the best, if not the best, second serve returns on the WTA Tour. And she can hit any type of return from both sides. So if you as a righty serve to the Eala backhand on the deuce side, she can go Jimmy Connors style down the line or cross court. She can do the same on the ad side. She can go inside out, and her favorite return on the backhand side is the inside in. And similarly on the forehand side, her favorite return is the one on the deuce side, where the player serves slice towards the tee or towards the middle.
The remarkable thing about history is that it rarely arrives with a warning. More often, it quietly unfolds on the biggest stages while the world is focused elsewhere. That was exactly the atmosphere when Alex Eala walked onto the Wimbledon grass to challenge defending champion Iga. What appeared to be just another match on the schedule was quickly becoming the start of a story few people saw coming.
It's completely, about me not handling the pressure well, and I was firing, shots. Today I wanted to be more calm and, play some balls in, but, I was mishitting, half of these returns, and I lost many points. I feel like maybe if I watch, I'm gonna see something else, but for me today was more about the tennis, and if I'm also happy how I came back.
On paper, this appeared to be another routine challenge for one of tennis's most established stars. In reality, it quickly turned into the match that captured everyone's attention. The stadium filled far sooner than expected, the atmosphere grew electric, and Filipino flags began appearing throughout the crowd, creating a sense that something special was about to unfold.
I didn't think I'd be making this many videos about women's tennis at Wimbledon, but once I researched Alex Eala's story, I couldn't resist this one. If you don't already know the name of Alex Eala, get ready, because she is the first Filipino tennis player to make it through to the third round of a Grand Slam's singles tournament at Wimbledon. But that isn't the best thing about her story. In August last year, Eala wore a t-shirt designed by Manila-based designer Georgina Camus, which featured the national flower of the Philippines, the sampaguita. And for her Wimbledon look, she chose to honor her heritage, but also send a message of strength, with this Filipino phrase embroidered into the back of her.
Even before the opening serve, the atmosphere felt different. There was a growing sense throughout the stadium that the crowd was about to witness something far bigger than a regular match. Thousands of fans seemed to recognize that they could be watching the next memorable chapter in the remarkable rise of one of tennis's most exciting young talents.
Before the match, I was really emotional because I was like, wow, the impact of this court, and I think before the match today, I think I was able to put myself in a mindset where it's still important. It's still a big match for me, but at the same time, it's like every other match, So I think I had a good balance. Yeah.
Talk more about the impact of the court. What does that mean to you?
I think it's just because this court has been the one that I've seen so many times, and you're at the baseline before serving, and you can imagine all the scenes of everybody winning their Wimbledon.
That is what makes sports so special. Rankings and stats tell part of the story, but sometimes the atmosphere says it all. Even before the match began, all eyes seemed to be on Alex Eala. She was no longer just a rising prospect. She had become one of the biggest attractions at Wimbledon. What makes her rise even more impressive is how quickly it happened. Not long ago, only dedicated tennis fans knew her name. Today, fans around the world, especially in the Philippines, eagerly follow every match she plays. But this success did not appear overnight. Behind the headlines are years of hard work, difficult moments, and countless hours of practice. Long before the packed crowds and growing attention, Eala was simply a young player chasing a dream that seemed almost impossible.
Great victory over Swiatek again. She obviously beat her in Miami a couple of 12 months ago, and now she's beaten her as the defending champion in the first win on a center court at Wimbledon. She's in the fourth round of a Grand Slam for the first time. Let's see what happened. All right, so 2 hours and 14 minutes. So the first set was super long. Both of them have set points, but never really felt like Eala was in trouble. Even if she had lost that first set, Eala was in control. It was really, really interesting to see how Swiatek was just battling the entire time. You can see there that the serving was pretty consistent. Both of them were serving well-ish, but obviously the 5-double faults for Swiatek really, really hurt her in the end. And actually started...
Growing up in the Philippines, Eala quickly emerged as one of the country's most promising tennis talents. Her natural skill, strong court awareness, and calm mindset helped her stand out from an early age. Coaches noticed that pressure never seemed to rattle her. Instead, it brought out her best. As she developed, she trained in a highly competitive environment that demanded discipline, constant improvement, and hard work every day. Those experiences helped shape the player now competing on tennis's biggest stages. But the sport can be unforgiving. One week brings a career-defining victory, and the next can end in disappointment. Rankings change constantly, and lasting confidence can only come from genuine belief in your abilities.
How to describe it? I mean, I'm into the second week of a slam, and it's amazing for me. Iga is a phenomenal player and a really nice person, so I'm really grateful to be able to share center court with her at Wimbledon nonetheless. Yeah, I'm really emotional, and maybe for someone like Iga, who has won so many slams, or maybe someone like Serena or Venus, this achievement may seem small, but for someone who grew up in the Philippines and...
That is why so many talented junior players never fully transition into elite professionals. The physical demands rise sharply, and the mental pressure becomes constant. Every opponent is capable of punishing even the smallest lapse in focus. Eala, however, refused to be defined by those challenges. Instead of being discouraged by setbacks, she used every match as a learning opportunity. Each loss highlighted areas for improvement, while each win reinforced that her progress was closing the gap between potential and performance. Then came the breakthrough that shifted how the tennis world viewed her. Her victory over Iga Swiatek in Miami. It was not just another upset that faded from headlines. What stood out most was her composure throughout the match. While many young players struggle under pressure, Eala remained disciplined from start to finish. Every point had intent, every adjustment showed control, and every rally reinforced the belief that her success was no accident. From that moment on, analysts no longer described her as just a promising talent. They began treating her as a genuine threat to the sport's elite.
Up before Roland Garros, what specific areas of Eala's clay court game do you see still needs the most improvement?
I think there's some improvement to be made, in particular with Alex's movement, specifically a little more development with the sliding technique, that being sliding into shots from corner to corner. In particular, when I watch Alex play, on a few occasions her movement out of the corners was a little stuttered due to slightly ineffective sliding, leaving her a little bit exposed when trying to retrieve her opponent's next shot.
That victory did not make Eala a Grand Slam champion overnight, but it changed expectations. Once you defeat one of tennis's biggest stars, opponents and fans begin to see you differently. More importantly, it gave her the confidence that only hard-earned success can provide. As her results became more consistent, her popularity continued to grow. At first, Filipino fans filled the stands to support one of their brightest athletes. Soon, neutral fans joined in as well. Eala's story, humble personality, and exciting style of play made her someone people wanted to watch. She was no longer just a promising player, she had become a rising star with growing support around the world.
That's how Eala got through in this one, and it was really tough to watch Swiatek because she was hitting a lot of errors. She just wasn't playing like herself, but that's what Eala does. Eala frustrates players, and she, makes them play worse than they're used to playing. She's just such a scrapper, and she gets everything back, and really is just such an awkward player to play, especially when she's confident, and we know Eala is confident on grass. She's played so well on this surface. She's not just beaten Swiatek, she's obviously beaten Svitolina and Rybakina, who are great grass court players. So really interested to see what happens next, because of course Svitolina and Rybakina are out of the tournament in that bottom half of the draw. Perlini comes up next. She's beaten Perlini before over in Dubai and Doha at the start of the year in February. She took her out.
Alex Eala game stands out because she blends aggression with smart decision-making. Rather than relying only on power, she uses angles, changes direction quickly, and takes the ball early to keep opponents under pressure. Her ability to stay unpredictable makes her especially dangerous against top players, who are used to facing raw power, but often struggle with variety and uncertainty. Whether attacking from the baseline or moving forward to finish points, she constantly forces opponents to adapt. That skill becomes even more meaningful at Wimbledon, a tournament known for its rich history, unique traditions, and the prestige that comes with joining the list of champions who have left their mark on the sport.
Her forehand inside in into the backhand corner of the righty. She can hit that return with her eyes closed and makes it a lot, and also rips it quite fast. She hits her return like I teach it. She abbreviates her preparation and then has a full finish where she gains similar control of the ball like she would on a regular ground stroke. She also has a spectacular forehand return from the ad side as well. She can go cross court, she can go down.
So after being a breakdown in the first set, because I feel like in Paris I would just lose it straight. So I was there to fight. It wasn't enough. For sure, I could play a little bit better, but she also played great and she used her chances and she went for it. In the tiebreak, I remember when it was tight, I slowed down a bit, but she was brave enough to, play a bit faster. And
for Alex Eala, Wimbledon was about more than just another tournament. It was a chance to prove that her success was not based on a few standout performances. It was becoming a consistent trend. That momentum set up a highly anticipated clash with one of tennis's biggest stars. What made the matchup so intriguing was Eala's belief that she could genuinely compete at the highest level. That confidence came from experience, including her breakthrough win over Iga Swiatek in Miami. More importantly, it showed she had overcome the mental barrier that often holds young players back against elite opponents. But facing a champion like Swiatek required more than confidence alone. Top players learn from past defeats, adjust their tactics, and return stronger. To succeed again, Eala would need to keep evolving, because elite tennis is built on constant adaptation.